Hey guys, Darkflame here and welcome to a new video. It's been a while, hasn't it? Today we're going to be running 64 Elderslayer maps for our endgame grinds challenge. I looked at the endgame grinds and I said, I still have to do roughly 60 Elderslayer maps for the endgame grinds. We can make some money off of it, so let's do that. I'm going to go over in this video how to optimize your Atlas tree and strategy to make maximum money from these 64 Elderslayer maps. Or in your case, it might be more, it might be less. The main premise of the strat is to juice up the quantity of the maps to get chances at the orbs, and then taking nodes on the Atlas passive tree to boost the quant of the maps even further, and to get more drops from the Elderslayer invitations that we will also be running in conjunction with the Elderslayer maps. In the background will be a full run of 4 Elderslayer maps and the invitation to show you just how long it takes to do each cycle. So quickly we're going to go over the Atlas tree setup. As you can see, because we're running so many maps, we want to take whatever free loot we can get, which in this case is Essence and Harbinger. You don't even have to select the Scarabs or the Craft on the map device. You also take all the quant here, the quant wheel, this quant and rarity cluster, and the map modifier effect nodes for maximum quant on each Conqueror map. And then we also emphasize boss drops and Maven's Crucible drops. Martial Forces gives you 20% quant. Conquered Conquerors gives you a chance at a Conqueror's Exalted Orb. And map bosses to drop a Conqueror map, which is pretty good because you're going to be killing the map bosses anyway. Remnants of the Past gives you Elder and Shaper Guardian maps, and this entire synthesis wheel gives you a plus 1.5% chance to get a synthesis map. For the Maven stuff, you get Maven Invitation Quant in all these small nodes, which is pretty nice. Captivated Interest gives you more Crescent Splinters for more Maven's Writs, and Pay for Play gives you Orb of Conflict Duplication chance and Awakened Support Gem chance when defeating or completing the Maven's Crucible. I only got one from this, but it's still a worthy point to get. Lastly, we're going to talk about this right here, Shaping the Values. Shaping the Values gives you 10% quant and 10% rarity on all the maps that you apply Fortune Favors of Brave to. It's only a 3 chaos craft, and 10% quant is pretty good. So I decided to take this because, again, the theme is boosting the quant of every Conqueror map. The rest of the nodes are pretty trivial, you can take whatever you want. You can see I didn't really put much care into speccing points. I even have a random point here just specced in. But yeah, you can take whatever you want, really. Now we're going to go into the setup of how we ran each map. Now basically how you want to run these maps, as you've been looking at on the background, is that you want to run the maps quickly and then run the invitations for them every time we gather up all 4 of the Elderslayers so that we can get those Maven's Writs and all that other loot. In advance you would buy the bulk invitations and the bulk Elderslayer maps. I only bought roughly 90% of what I needed because I knew I was going to be dropping some maps and some invitations from these runs, so it saved me a bit of time. And then for each Elderslayer map you would scour, chisel, and alch each map, and then roll out all the mods you can't run. You would do this for the invitations as well, but you can't chisel the invitations, so you just roll out the bad mods. And then before each map you would put in 4 sacrifice fragments to get 20% free quant, and Fortune Favors the Brave for, again, another 10% quant, which I discussed earlier. Because you're going to be running the map bosses for each of these Elderslayer maps, I also ran 2 Atlas invitations, the regular 10 boss ones, but yeah, you're probably not going to get too much from that. About 4 extra Maven Splinters. This is a spreadsheet showing the initial investment if you happen to buy every single component of this 64 map challenge. As you can see, we spent most of our money on the maps themselves and the Elderslayer invitations, but you also spend a little bit more money to get that extra quant for a chance at extra loot. All told, this is roughly a 15x investment. Okay, here's the loot from the 64 Conqueror maps and their invitations. The Too Long Don't Watch is basically do the challenge while it's still profitable. For the breakdown, you can see here that I've highlighted or bolded the larger drops. Two different calculations in the bottom show the profits with and without the smaller drops that are not bolded. So with the small drops, you get pretty good profit, 3x per hour. It took me about 3 hours to run all of those 64 maps and invitations. And then even if we take out the smaller drops, you still get roughly 2.6 XL per hour, which is not the most profit in the world, but it's definitely good to know that making these endgame grinds is somewhat profitable. Now in reality, you're probably not going to be selling these Shrieking Essences or the maps. You're either going to be selling maps in bulk. I don't really think anyone's buying bulk maps anymore. Or you're going to be combining those Shrieking and Screaming Essences into Deafening Essences, so you can sell those. Again, I want to emphasize that you're going to want to do this challenge before the price of the invitations and the Elderslayer maps go up. I already saw the price of the maps creeping up a little bit by the time I finished this challenge. In the next video, we're going to be going over all of the loot that we get from the Maven's Writs as well as the Cirrus sets, so stay tuned. Catch you in the next one.